Good morning. We're coming close to the end of the year, and I don't know about you, but I take kind of an inventory, a self inventory at the end of the year, and it's an involuntary thing, kind of. I think that I start to sit down with God in prayer and say, where are we? Where did I want to be? Where did I think we were going? And so today, as we start this week, one of the final weeks of 2021, remember this. Remember that in the book of Numbers that it says that God is not a human, that he should lie. He keeps his promises. He's not a human being that he should change his mind. Does he speak and then not act? Does he promise and then not fulfill? So as you come to the end of the year, if you're looking at things like, what in the world? I expected thus and such. I expected thus other and such. Remember this. He's not a man that he should lie. So God keeps the promises of his word, and he keeps the promises that he's made to you personally in your time of prayer with him. You know what that is. Those are heartfelt, personal promises that he speaks to you as you're praying and as you're reading his word. And if you're coming to the end of the year and you're like, well, okay, but where, God? First off, don't lose your little childlike faith. Don't lose your little childlike sparkle. And listen, guys, this is the hardest thing about this word this morning. I'm coming to the end of my year, and some of the things that have been rotating in my mind have been like grumbling and complaining and what in the world is happening here? Why are we not where we thought we were going to be by this time at the end of 2021? And he gave me a little bit chewy words this morning that I wasn't really thrilled about. So I'm going to maybe rush through this a little bit. And it's the year end. Did you know that with the Lord, a day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day? He doesn't look at time like we look at it. But he does give us these encouraging nuggets. He does give us these encouraging pieces of hope, like don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. I have a couple of scriptures that I want to read this morning, and I'm kind of trying to move quickly through it because sometimes reading the scriptures takes a minute. But know this: no matter what your year end looks like compared to what you thought it should look like, God is not a man that he should lie. He keeps his promises. He keeps his promises. His hope does not disappoint, it says in Romans 5:5, and in the book of James. Nails me every time. Not a fan, but it's God's word and it is the truth. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work in you, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Well, nobody likes trials of many kinds. I personally do not like trials of many kinds, but James here says, consider it pure joy, because it's developing character in you. It's the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Faith, the evidence of things not seen, right? So the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Like, I'm learning to wait on the Lord, and they that wait on the Lord. I promised my friend I would sing this morning, and she just wants to see it so she can giggle at me. But here's how I remember what happens to those who wait on the Lord. It's a little song that has been in my brain since I was a kid. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They'll walk and not faint. Teach me, Lord, to wait. So we know when we wait on him, he renews our strength and we will soar like eagles. Back to James, if any of you lacks wisdom, ask God who gives generously. So God, I'm having a hard time waiting. I'm having a hard time in these trials, finding joy. Give me wisdom. Okay, here's the hard part again. He says, but when you ask, don't doubt. You must believe, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea tossed to and fro, and that person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. So, hang in there. Consider it pure joy. You know, it's the end of the year and maybe the year didn't look like you thought it was supposed to look. Maybe there are some things that you are still holding on to. Be like a kid. Hold on to them. Your God is your Father in heaven and he loves you. He's not like a man that he should lie. He's not like a man that he should change his mind. Does he not speak and act? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But consider it pure joy as you're going through trials. And it's building perseverance in you. It's developing your faith. Your faith. And verse 12 in James 1, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Did you know Ephesians 3:20 is praise, but it's praise to whom? To the God who will do immeasurably more than you can ask or imagine. We can't even imagine how much he is doing for us, for our family, for our friends, for our nation in this world, for the nations of the world, in the seen and unseen realms. He does immeasurably more than we could ask. We can't even think to ask the good things that he is already doing. We can try to imagine it, and we should, but we can't even imagine the good that he's doing. But that verse is not so much about the good that he's going to give us. It's about us giving glory to the one who is. But here's where the rubber meets the road in Philippians chapter 2, verses 13. For it is God who works in you to act and to will in order to fulfill his good purpose. So he's working in us through this perseverance, through the joy that we're trying to find in the trials and tribulations. And he is our joy. We are his joy. He is our joy. And then in verse 14, Paul says to the Philippians, do everything without grumbling or complaining, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God without fault in a crooked generation. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky. One of my favorite pastimes is complaining and grumbling. No. And maybe this is one for 2022 that we just work on. Because this morning when I was praying about this, and he showed me the refiner sitting and gazing at the gold being refined by fire. The refiner never takes his eyes off the gold. He never lets it get too hot. And when he has formed the gold into what he wants it to be, he polishes that gold so lovingly and carefully. until he can see his own reflection in the gold. That's us, guys. We're gold. We're stars. We're going to be shining like stars in the universe. What we do can be wood, hay, and stubble, and the refiner's fire burns that up, or gold, silver, and precious gems, and the refiner's fire just makes those more beautiful. He shines us so that he can see his reflection in us, and when he looks at us, he sees his glory. Be like a kid that wraps their arms around their dad's leg, knowing he loves them. His plans and purposes are good for them, and he will do it in his season, in his time. Don't lose hope. Hope does not disappoint us. He is our hope. And with that, I would love to read Hope Speaks to You. This was quick. There was a lot here, and let me tell you why. It hurts. I don't like talking about all the things that are so hard for me. It's so hard for me not to complain. It's so hard for me to stop being so intellectual and adult and be like a kid, knowing that he's my good dad. He loves me. And the final song that I remember, because I sang it to my kids, I didn't learn this until I was an adult, but it stuck with me, and some of you will remember this and sing it with me. And this is from Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. Do everything without complaining. Do everything without arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure children of God. So, I'm giving myself this challenge for the rest of the year to cut out the complaining and arguing. Just cut it out. Cut out the negativity. Think about positive things. Whatever is good and noble and right and pure and praiseworthy. Think about those things. Think about those things. I'm not so much talking to y'all if you're receiving something from this. Yippee! If you are not, trust me, I am talking to me. December 13th. Hope Speaks. I am teaching you right here. I'm changing you right here. I'm expanding you right here. I'm loving you right here, and as long as you will meet me here, I will meet you here. There is no religion on us. There's only love and beauty. There's only intimacy. Remind your intellect to stay home. It chooses pathways that I don't take. My child, don't be so grown up. Stay little, like a child. That's how my presence comes. When you're small and open, when your concern is not for how you look or who you impress, when your concern is simply climbing into my lap, that's where you'll find me every time. Every single time. The answer to your question aren't always for now. They aren't always what you need in this moment or even in this season. Sometimes the answers to your questions are found by gazing into my eyes, and the actual spoken words are secondary. Remember, my thoughts are not yours. My ways are higher. My words come in waves of color and light, waves of sound and silence. Do not look for my voice in the same way every single day, because my words dance and twinkle. My words are made for children's ears and children's eyes. They are made for children's hearts, not for the busy, mature, overwhelmed, serious adults. You have to come close. Put your cheek next to mine and receive me like a child. Song of Songs 7:11. Come away, my love. Come with me to the faraway fields. We will run away together to the forgotten places and show them redeeming love. It's going to be a great week.